Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In our last episode, we continued on the road home as we left Canaskin Provincial Park, located at the halfway mark of our journey across the rural Cassiar Highway, and proceeded to drive further south, enjoying the magnificent views of the Boundary Ranges, the Bear River Mountains, and the Stikine Ranges. These mountain ranges collectively contribute to the spectacular scenery along the Cassiar Highway between Canaskin Lake and Mesiadin Junction near Stewart, British Columbia, offering travelers breathtaking views of snow-capped peaks, glaciers, and rugged wilderness as they journey through this remote and beautiful part of British Columbia. After a pleasant drive, we stopped at Mesiadin Provincial Park, and after spending a few days at the incredible Mesiadin Provincial Lake, we break camp and drive 40 miles west to the town of Stewart, where we will base camp for several days as we enjoy this next chapter in our golden anniversary adventure. With Equinox in tow, we travel in the CoolNanaCoach on Highway 37A, a spur road off the Stewart-Cassiar Highway. This is the only road into Stewart, the town that we checked out just the other day and where we made our base camp reservation. We drive into town and take advantage of the free municipal sewer dump on 5th Avenue. We then take advantage of the coin-operated truck car wash facility a block away. After the dusty 4-day drive on the Cassiar Highway and no place to clean up our vehicles, Equinox and the CoolNana are in desperate need of cleaning. Like most campgrounds, the campground we have made reservations at does not permit vehicle washing on site. Stewart has a rich history dating back to the late 19th century when it was established during the Klondike Gold Rush. At its peak, Stewart was a bustling mining town with several mines operating in the area. Today, remnants of this mining heritage can still be seen in the town's historic buildings and infrastructure. We would really appreciate you hitting that like button and also share this video with your friends. And when you subscribe, you'll be notified in advance as our latest video is released. The town is nestled amidst stunning mountain scenery and is surrounded by wilderness. Stewart has a small population with fewer than 500 residents. Despite its size, the town offers essential amenities such as accommodations, restaurants, and shops to serve both residents and visitors. Our main destination is Hyder, Alaska, but Hyder is a small, remote place with extremely limited facilities. There is no internet or telephone service in Hyder, so it is best to base camp in Stewart to enjoy services, fuel, groceries, internet connectivity that we need to file the required ArriveCAN documents and to purchase tickets to visit the Fish Creek Observation Platform in Hyder. Over the next 3 days, we will base camp at the Rainey Creek Municipal Campground and travel in Equinox back into Alaska to visit the quaint early 20th century town, as well as a U.S. National Forest Service viewing platform at Fish Creek, and we'll take a trip up to see the famous SalmonGlacier, located some 20 miles north or so. Stewart is located at the head of the Portland Canal, a long, narrow fjord that forms part of the border between British Columbia, Canada, and Alaska, United States. Stewart is closely linked to the neighboring town of Hyder, Alaska, which is accessible only by road. The two towns share certain services, such as medical facilities and emergency services. While it's often associated with Hyder, Alaska, due to its close proximity and shared border, Stewart is actually situated on the Canadian side of the border, while Hyder is on the American side. While mining played a significant role in Stewart's early economy, the town's economy is now primarily based on tourism, fishing, and forestry. The spectacular natural surroundings attract visitors interested in outdoor activities such as hiking, fishing, wildlife viewing, and glacier tours. Many visitors to Stewart also venture across the border to Hyder for bear viewing at the Fish Creek viewing platform. Stewart has a small population with fewer than 500 residents. Despite its size, the town offers essential amenities such as accommodations, restaurants, and shops to serve both residents and visitors. Hyder, Alaska is a small community with a very small population, typically estimated to be around 87 residents. Despite its small size, Hyder attracts many visitors, particularly during the summer months, due to its scenic beauty, wildlife viewing opportunities, and its proximity to natural attractions such as the SalmonGlacier and the Tongass National Forest, with its Fish Creek wildlife viewing site. The community has unique character and is known for its friendly locals and quirky charm. Its moniker, the friendliest ghost town in the United States, is well known.
Fish Creek is a significant salmon spawning stream, attracting large numbers of chum, pink, and coho salmon during the spawning season. The abundance of salmon provides an important food source for the bears, as well as other wildlife such as eagles and wolves. The Fish Creek observation site includes viewing platforms on elevated boardwalks that offer visitors a safe vantage point to observe the bears and other wildlife. Interpretive signs are also present to provide information about the ecology of the area and the behavior of the bears. It is located on the SalmonGlacier Road, about 5 miles north of the Hyder border crossing. The road is completely paved and well maintained from the border to the observation site. The site is managed and operated by the United States Forestry Service, and there is a $5 daily entrance fee. The fee is payable at the visitor's site in Stewart, so you must purchase your ticket before crossing the border into Alaska. With our tickets in hand, we enter the observation site and hope for some bears to arrive. We can see many salmon swimming in the crystal clear waters of the creek, but after a good half hour or so, no bears to be seen. We'll have to come back later and maybe be lucky to see some grizzlies feed on the salmon. So we move on for now and take the somewhat unfriendly and quite treacherous drive up the nearly 20 miles of the rocky, unpaved Granduc Dirt Road high into the Coast Mountains to visit one of the many wonders of the region, the Great Salmon Glacier. SalmonGlacier is one of the largest glaciers in North America. It stretches for approximately 14 miles from its source in the ice field down to the terminus in the valley below. The glacier covers an area of over 130 square miles. The drive to Salmon Glacier offers stunning scenic views of rugged mountain landscapes, pristine alpine lakes, and dense forests. Several times along our drive, escort trucks have had us pulled to the side of the road to allow large mining equipment to pass. Yes, there are still active gold mining operations in the area. Mining has been a significant economic activity in this region for over a century, and gold remains one of the primary resources being extracted. There are several mines currently operating or under development in the area. We stop at several viewpoints along the way and admire the glacier and the surrounding scenery. Salmon Glacier is one of the largest glaciers in North America. It stretches for approximately 14 miles from its source in the ice field down to its terminus in the valley below. The glacier covers an area of over 130 square miles. Although the road is treacherous, the views we have of the distant glacier only add to our desire to get up as close as we can to this very remote natural wonder. We come to an avalanche advisory station. The warning advises motorists that they are entering a very active avalanche area and advises to keep moving and not to stop anywhere along the next section of this narrow, rugged rural road. The road is extremely dusty, but for us, this is fortunate, since had it been rainy, we would be dealing with mud. Overlooking the Salmon Glacier, the Granduc Mine is situated on a rock ridge between a glacier and a cliff, some 22 miles north of Stewart, British Columbia, at the north end of Summit Lake. This road was a remarkable engineering achievement, as it traversed steep terrain, dense forest, and unpredictable weather conditions typical of the rugged coast mountains. Construction of the Granduc Road began in the 1960s, and it was completed in phases over several years. The road provides access for trucks to transport copper ore from the mine to the port of Stewart. The ruts and potholes in the road are many and hazardous, and with the winding, steep grade changes, slow, attentive driving is the rule. This is certainly not a road for a large Class A or even a large Class C RV to consider driving. Our towed Equinox is ideally suited for this trip, and I'm glad Steve is doing the driving.
The snow-capped mountain peaks are getting closer, and we have finally reached the summit at an elevation of just over 4,000 feet. What an incredible view! And we have bright sunny weather upon us to enhance the experience. We meet several people already enjoying the spot. However, the hungry mosquitoes are quite annoying, yet tolerable. The landscape around us is the result of several periods of glaciation. The most recent, known as the Fraser glaciation period, reached its peak around 14,000 years ago. This is when the ice sheet reached its maximum size, covering much of what we now know as British Columbia and Alaska. As climatic conditions improved, the ice sheet began its slow retreat, and the land began to rise, leaving the landscape much as you see it today. The Salmon Glacier, the 5th largest in Canada and the largest accessible by car, is a remnant of the last great age of glaciers. Here we find there are benches and clean pig toilets on the site, and Jane gives a smile and a thumbs up as we photograph the incredibly massive Salmon Glacier. As we head back south on the rugged haul road, again, the sights we see are incredibly beautiful. It takes about an hour to reach the end of the road and the beginning of the well-paved Salmon Glacier Road, where we see our first bear of the day. A small black bear running across the highway a mere 1 mile from the Fish Creek observation site. The prospects of observing the big Canadian grizzly bears feeding in the wild are now looking very good. But you'll have to wait for our next episode to find out if our journey to see the bears has been successful. But not to tease you and leave you in suspense, here's a slight preview of what's in store for you on our next episode of Jane and Steve's Golden Anniversary Adventure.